It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. Today with Razor Fist.
They want to square that circle so airtight that there will be no contrary opinions whatsoever.
And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SideScrollers.locals.com. What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. Hi, I'm Stuttering Craig. Man, do we get a loaded show today. It is loaded to the brim with so much to talk about. I'm glad you guys have joined us. Thanks so much for getting up early with us and hanging out with us today. Spread the word. Hey, Blabs, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Today's been funny. The internet's fun. Thank you, internet.
The internet is fun. The internet is fun.
Only today, though. Usually it's shit, but this morning with all the releases of all the trailers and stuff, it's making me laugh. Thank you.
Yes, there are very few days where you go, the internet is fun, and today is one of those days. We got lots going on. Hey, speaking of a guy who learned that the internet is both fun and horrible, took a day off of the internet, it's Razor Fist. What's up, Razor?
Yes, I was away from the internet for one full day or 1,005 years in internet time. It was great. You know that scene in Kindergarten Cop where Arnold walks back into the classroom and the kids are like eating paste, hanging off ceiling fans and doing hookers and blow, right? He's like, shut up! Coming back was like that, but with pronouns and Palestinian flags. Like, that's there's the thing.
Hey, if one of the Legion of Memers or memers out there could please add Razor's face to Arnold Schwarzenegger walking.
No. You know, it's that meme where that guy walks into the building again and like everything is on fire and he's just holding pizza. Like that's Razor Fist, but then there's like the pibs and then the flags and everything on fire. That's what it should be.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
Not a tumor. Here we are. That movie is now transphobic. I don't know if you guys realize that or not.
Yay!
Yes. As the little boy who came in and says, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. That's now seen as problematic.
Who knew I was watching one of the most based movie characters of all time when I first watched that in the Dollar Theater as a 5-year-old? Like,
you think that man who played that little boy in that movie who was really popular in the late 80s, do you think that he has gone back and made amends with his transgressions over the years?
Probably. Big Kindergarten Cop, class kid reunion. They compare addictions and sexual assault stories.
Oh, man. Rough stuff. Well, look, we got a lot to go over today. There's so much happening, and we're going to dig into this AI stuff, which Razor has no idea about. Just balls crazy. We're going to get into Rumble, potentially Rumble suing Google. Not potentially, it is happening. A game again, yes. A game developer has spoken out against all the insanity happening in the video game space, and it's going about as well as you'd expect it would from all the journalists in space. It's nuts. Wait, hold on. Jeremy says he died from COVID-19. That guy died from COVID-19. Well, it's because he clearly didn't make amends while he was here.
We have a meme over on my channel. I was killed in Death Wish 3. Right? Because have you seen that movie? Charles Bronson murders the entire city of New York and most of the surrounding area, right? Like, so the idea being there's no one left to kill anymore after Death Wish 3. Basically, that's the same idea here.
Well, speaking of Charles Bronson, Blabs didn't know who Charles Bronson is.
I knew you were going to bring that up.
Yeah, why would I not? Of course. So
listen, I do know now.
You better.
You think it'd be like we talk about these blind spots that we have in our pop culture fandom, right? And I think it would be great for Blabs to watch Death Wish. I think that'd be a nice movie to watch.
Listen, I've seen an episode of Death Note, okay?
Same idea, same main character with a comb over, same thing.
See?
Well,
I bet you Craig doesn't even know what Death Note is.
Yeah.
it's an anime.
Can you imagine a franchise mashup? Death Note Wish? Can you imagine? Paul Kersey gets a hold of the Death Note. Everyone in the Western Hemisphere is dead.
Just wow. So you got Charles Bronson over there wielding his power. Oh, that'd be great. Well, look, we got a lot to go over today, but before we do, I want to remind you guys once again, we're live over at rumble.com/sidestrollers. Join us over there. If you haven't yet, hit the follow button. We love Rumble. We've passed 7,100 followers. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs?
Because it's organic.
That's right, because it's all organic. We love growing organically over there, which is great. You also could have found out that Razor was going to be on the show by following us over on X at x.com/sidescrollerpod. Hey, Razor, guess what?
Sup?
Next Tuesday, we have done the impossible, and you will be joined by Kirsha next Tuesday. It's going to be
He's
great.
like, oh, I'm going on vacation next week. I forgot to tell you.
Isn't that the cereal the Jewish people eat? What is that?
Kirsha is a VTuber, mega based VTuber. Fox lady. She is spectacular.
No, I've heard. I'm dimly aware.
People
I didn't tell him until Craig made the announcement live, and I was like, oh no. Anyway, surprise, Razor.
Well, it's going to be good. It's going to be it's going to be a very exciting show, to say the least.
Right.
We'll be going back and forth on each other for sure. Also, we have an X account where you can be watching the show right now, which has been blowing up, by the way, which has been really, really great. Lots of people tuning in and watching us yesterday over on X, which is great. Also, we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so far clips of the show. Otherwise, some sort of violence in white.
Okay. Your mic is hopping in and out a little bit, Blabs. Today. Yeah.
Why do you hate me?
There you go. Can I get a little closer to it? That may help.
Hello.
You do that NPR voice. Be like, hello, today on All Things Considered.
Hello on All Things Gay. How are you?
Right, there you are.
And Blabs, bring your mic a little bit closer to your mouth.
It's literally on the edge of my desk. I can't get it any closer without holding it.
We'll get you one of these mic arms here, and we'll go from there.
It's time to upgrade to the armature, lady.
That's right. We'll do that. Blabs has proven her mettle. We'll need to invest in getting her a really nice microphone for the show.
That way I don't scream anymore.
That's right.
Craig is finally going to spring for the $40 purchase.
It's worth it.
Yes. I'm worth $40, bro.
We also have a Kick account. And you
I
can
just realized how bad that sounded. Never mind.
I just glossed over it, but yes, we all know Blab's value is about $40, right?
It's a way higher. Actually, there is no monetary value. Okay.
What?
Way higher. You can't put a price on me. I will leave now because this is just a giant hole that I just keep digging myself into. Goodbye. Go on, Craig.
He's going to linger on this as long as humanly possible now. He's like, let's just stew with this.
Welcome, fellow gamers.
Well, you can also listen to the show over on Apple Podcast if you want to listen to the show instead of staring at Blabs turning into a red.
I'm a tomato.
Right. Listen to the show over on Apple Podcast. And of course, you can find us over at locals at sidescrollers.locals.com. But if you are tuning into us over here on YouTube, we obviously welcome you with open arms. The common sense side of the internet, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Join the 80,763 lovers of common sense in the video game space. And Blabs has upped our like goal. It is now 900 likes. That is the goal. This episode, to do us a favor, scroll your little mouse over to that thumbs up. Move your little thumb over to the thumbs up and hit it, because that helps with discovery over on YouTube, which is a great thing. Also comments and stuff. That's really big. Let's do our best to hit our goal of 25 members today. Love to see that. And also, let's sell a little bit of merchandise this month because, hey, it's all about Blabs. It's all about Blabs and the Blabs the Tower Chart karaoke t-shirt. There it is right there. Oh, and bucket hat.
Surprise! Does it list the price on the back, or?
Shut up, Razor.
$40.
Maybe I should raise the price to $40 for today.
$45 if you want me to touch you.
Ew. No, if I ever go to like one of those Comic Cons, I should hold a sign and be like, "I'll step on you for like $5."
Oh,
I might
no.
make $5.
Oh man. Well, yes, the shirt is less than $40, despite Blabs' overwhelming value that is added to the show, which is great. So is the bucket hat, which is great. So please head on over. Link is in the description. Go pick up some and go support the show and get a good thing going. With that said, we're off to a great start today as Dylan starts off with a $5 super chat. Says, does SKYNET know when Sabaton? Oh
No
boy.
one knows. Can SKYNET calculate infinity?
Hey, we're going to dig into SKYNET in a major way today. Major way. Shane came in with the $10 over on Rumble. Says, hey, Blabs, Craig called me a bastard and said farts a lot yesterday.
Oh.
Just because he can't get good at Donkey Kong Country 3. I now vote you come out of the tower and send Crag. He needs time to the corner. So
Did
yesterday,
you call chat a bastard, Craig?
well,
No, I'm actually kind of proud of you.
yesterday, I'd like to tell you a quick story if I could.
You're allowed.
Shane, yesterday, during my time playing Donkey Kong Country 3, which is a very good Donkey Kong Country game, I like to say. He told a story about how he left his son. He forgot his son at pickup at school. So his son was just sitting there waiting for him, and he got a call from the school. So I called him a horrible bastard. But at the same time, I also said, what parent hasn't forgot their kid at one time? So, you know.
My parents have never forgotten me.
Well, of course, never forget, Blabs. It's because you're special, aren't you?
Ed, maybe, but listen, I just want to point out that reminds me of that scene from 2.5 Men where Alan forgets Jake and he's like in the pouring rain and he's like just waiting to be picked up from school, and that's what it reminds me of. The end. Carry on.
I mean, I think everybody at some point has been forgotten about by their parents, right?
No.
I got
Never.
left in California on accident at a rest stop on a road trip.
Well, are you?
They didn't realize. Yeah, this was with a volunteer group, though, right? So they drove on, and it was like 3 hours before they realized I wasn't there. And I'm like getting to the point of like this existential mode where I'm like, okay, can I start a new life in California? Is this a thing I'm going to have to do? Like, how am I gonna go?
3 hours they forgot you?
They did.
So you had to wait like 6 hours or something to get picked up or for them to recuperate their time?
Yeah, and this is before the ubiquity of cell phones. I mean, people had cell phones, but it wasn't like smartphones. And this is before 2007 with the iPhone. So, you know, if people had a cell phone, whatever. I didn't have a cell phone, though. So I'm sitting there with my thumb up my dumper, and there's hobos congregating around the rest stop. It was uncomfortable. It was an uncomfortable 3 hours, guys. I had to make some dirty life decisions. I'm not going to lie.
Like what?
Right. You straight up had to Joe Dirt it, man. You
Right?
nearly had to. If you've ever seen Joe Dirt, that was the premise of the story. You got left behind at the Grand Canyon. You had to start a new life in Silvertown. Razor nearly had to make his way to Silvertown, California, and start a new life. Find Brandy.
Damn, bro.
No, I wish it was Silvertown. It was like one of those towns between Arizona and California that has like 2 people in it, and it's like it's like like 2 stoplights and a tumbleweed. Like that's the entire town.
That's right.
Yeah.
Autumn said,
I understand why you are the way you are now. I understand.
Autumn says you had to make some good $40 decisions.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Everybody's got their own path, Razor.
At least $60, folks. Come on, don't sell me short here.
Oh my God. Mark came in and says AI is fallen angel tech. Thanks, Mark. We're going to get into AI in just a little bit. The worthy one says, nice shirt, Razor. Daredevil's my joint too.
Yo, thank you.
Thanks, worthy one. Appreciate that. JM says, not only should we rename the community, but every time one of the crazy slanders gamers online, we should just reply with, we're just normal men. Listen, at the end, we were actually talking about that before the show and how important it is to potentially rename the community normal men.
We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
So good. Every time.
Normal men.
I think we will have a big vote here very soon on whether to rename the community Normal Men, because I think that it is a worthy conversation to have. I really do. Thank you, JM. Appreciate that.
4 a.m. G2 dump.
That will not be the list of things.
Sorry, a pipe burst in the vote counting office. Sorry.
Extra Zero says we need Charles Bronson in Dead by Daylight.
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh. Listen, Extra Zero just learned how to play Dead by Daylight last night. It was pretty hilarious to watch.
Fun game.
It is.
BC says, find to disagree, especially with you people, since you have such entertaining personalities, especially Razor Fist. I'm a big Burzern fan, especially the dungeons atmospheric stuff he did later on. What is Burzern?
It's Burzum. It's a band. You ever hear about black metal? You know about black metal, about the music?
Yeah, we talked about it on the show a few times.
Have you heard about the church burnings and the killings and the murders and all that stuff?
No.
You didn't hear about any of that. It's like the Compton of black metal. Norway is. It's like just murders and people getting got. And anyway, the guy who did most of that was Burzum. Varg.
Well, all right.
It's like the 50 Cent of black metal. Yeah.
Oh, it's good. Good old 50 Cent. The Copper Owl came in and says, everyone sing with me. Taryn has a mangina. It's funny. Emperor Creatine says 5 words that grip the heats of every criminal giggler from coast to coast. My friend Windley is coming. Okay. Now, if only it was possible to purchase one without selling an arm, leg, or both kidneys.
You didn't say that correctly. You've seen Death Wish 3 now.
No, I haven't seen 3.
You haven't seen 3. Okay. You got to watch that one. I love how Death Wish started out as just a guy killing the people who killed his family, like a normal urban romp. And eventually it just descends into urban Rambo. That's basically Death Wish 3, but that's what that line is from.
Okay. So, sorry I blew it. My fault. Yeah. Lord J says, I love when Razor's on. My favorite part is when he says, it's fisting time, and starts fisting all over the place.
As you do.
Casual.
Naturally. Ghost Text came in and says, fingers crossed that those saying AI's data limits may hit a diminishing returns period before big tech hurdles us full into Black Mirror and Skynet. Why else would Sam Altman ask for $7 trillion? Listen, the stuff we're going to show, Razor, I'm legitimately excited to show this stuff to you today. We could probably spend an hour talking about this. This is scary stuff. Big Iron came in. Big Iron Affinity says
it's timely too with the gay droids from Star Wars.
See, Razorfist does read the document beforehand. Thanks, man.
No, that's been going around on Twitter. What do you?
Yeah, I put it in the document and I sent it to you yesterday.
It's okay. He saw it on Twitter.
No,
I thought he just read it. I was like, yeah, he reads the shit I send him.
I'm sorry. Yes, I did. Sorry, Blabs. Yes, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
Your words matter. I totally don't just hear a high-pitched whining noise every time
he totally doesn't hear a mosquito. It's fine.
You know the sound a hybrid vehicle makes? Like,
it's so mean, but it's so true.
At least she knows it.
I know it, dude. And the best part is my voice was actually higher than it was before I had my tonsils removed when I was like 12. So you're welcome, everybody.
Your voice usually does drop as you get older, Blabs.
Yeah, I know, but can you imagine little 12-year-old me? So yeah.
Just put the gun in my mouth right now.
Okay.
Hey, you've got a beautiful, bright future voicing hentai cartoons later on.
That means it's too big. I know stuff. Anyway. Hi. Craig's just like, put me back. I'm doing it myself. Look, I did it. Blabs is the new friend Drescher. Yeah, but I'm not in a cult.
Can you do the laugh?
Mr. Sheffield. No, I can't.
Sounds like someone trying to crank start a push mower. What is going on?
That's sakes.
Yeah.
Like a dying cat or a goat getting.
Right.
No. Oh my God. Big Iron Deficiencies. He needed to get John Gibson on. He's the former CEO of Tripwire Interactive and got canceled. I think he's on the list. I think he is on the list. Big Iron Deficiency. Thank you very much. Anti-Hero came in and says, if you find someone that giggles at you like Grazer does for Blabs, you're very lucky. I love the energy of you guys. Thanks, Anti-Hero.
That's just the methamphetamine talking. Don't worry about it.
Right. Matthew says, can you show Razer the X post about the disgruntled PlayStation 5 owner complaining about Square Enix leaving PlayStation exclusivity? Ooh, yes, absolutely. Blabs, can you please find that post from yesterday?
I didn't even realize. I'm so behind the times. I didn't even realize Square Enix left Sony exclusivity. I'm so behind the eight ball. You take one day off social media. I swear to God,
right.
like 1,000 years behind.
That's it, Razer. That's the problem. Is that you left the internet for 24 hours, and here you are in the Stone Age again.
Indeed.
You're talking about the whole black people, right?
Started up my car earlier. I was barefoot, made a Flintstones noise.
This is it right here. PS5 owners are now treated like black people in 1939. We are now second-class gamers, and neither Sony or Square care about us anymore. Just like black people had to give up their civil rights, we PlayStation gamers are having to forfeit our exclusives. Totally the same.
I mean, it's so bad. Like people are like, that's got to be parody, right? But this guy has no.
Yeah. How many pronouns are in his bio?
Oh, well, it's funny. He actually got he does. Yes, he does have a number of things in his bio.
Yeah. My pronouns are Sam/Bo.
Oh, no. Here we are. Here's the actual post, by the way, from this guy. This is just spectacular awareness. Fan of stealth and story-driven games, Dishonored, Deus Ex, by the way. He definitely wants you to do all sorts of stuff. So he actually got community noted. There you go. He's the known troll who consistently.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. All right.
Yes. By engaging in the post, you are feeding into their ruse. There we go. So
I was gonna. There's just no way. Like, it's ridiculous.
Hey, 2.3 million views on that post,
dude.
And,
he's making money.
It pays to be retarded. Ask Corky from Life Goes On.
Oh man, Corky, what happened to that guy?
Oobadi, oobada. Anyway,
life goes on.
Israel says, "Hello." The new trailer for season 2 of House of the Dragon is epic compared to the new anemic teaser trailer for Rings of Power season 2. Excited for House of the Dragon. Cheers. Thanks, Israel. Appreciate that. We're going to get into the reaction to the new Lord of the Rings trailer for sure in just a second. Hey, Blabs.
Hey.
Great news. Tyler Preston picked up the Blabs karaoke bar T-staff t-shirt. Says, had to cancel my previous order due to misspelling on my shipment, but it's fixed now. So no violence, please, Blabs.
Okay. Thank you for your purchase.
And Kratos came in with the $20 direct donation. It says, humans are now treated like black people in 1939 USA. We are now second-class employees, and neither ChatGPT or SKYNET care about us anymore. Just like black people had to give up their civil rights, we humans are having to forfeit our exclusive jobs. Thank you for that. Appreciate that greatly. All right, we see all your super chats today. We see all your direct donations and your Rumble rants and your purchases of Blabs' merchandise. We will make sure we read every single one and mention every single one before the show is over. With that said, it is time to get into Today in Gaming History. Blabs, what do we have today?
Well, it's not a whole lot of a special day, May 14th. So we have Fire Emblem released back in 1996.
Nice.
Bloodstained Ritual of the Night released back in 2019. And Mass Effect released 3 years ago in 2021. Now, Twitter was like, these are terrible choices. But I'll be honest, guys. these are like the most popular ones released for today.
Well, Bloodstained is good. Bloodstained's good, and Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem is awesome.
You know what's funny? Mark the Cyborg actually gifted me Bloodstained like 2 years ago for my birthday, and I still haven't played it. Sadly.
You should play it. It's really, really Bloodstained.
It's an even weebier Castlevania.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
you actually have to drink Ramonet and eat Pocky while you're playing. I think that's actually a requirement.
Oh, okay. It's part of the contract. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, a quick reminder that Today in Gaming History is brought to you by our friends over at Zydax PCs. Make sure you guys go check it out. If you're in the market for a PC, definitely consider checking them out. Zydax has a lifetime warranty on parts and labor, so make sure you guys support them. They support us, so pick up a PC over there. They also are hand-built in Salt Lake City, Utah, with US-only tech support. I think that's a great thing. They got, whether you're looking for a custom PC or a pre-built or whatever, they'll get you hooked up. So head on over to Zydax PCs. Links is in the description. Thanks for your support, guys. Really appreciate that. If you're in the market. What? Oh, shysters! Wow,
the chat was just flowing with green. I was like, "What's going on here?" And then bam!
Moly, that is ridiculous. Okay, Valkyria Winter came in with the 50.
That's the wrong sound.
Memberships. Razor, what color are we going with today?
Gold or red?
Red it is. All right, sounds good. Red, that is ridiculous. Holy moly. If you guys got gifted a membership today, make sure you say thank you. That is incredibly nice. Valkyria, that is, wow. Going on the wall.
Thank you very much.
Say thank you and consider paying it forward. Wow, that is, wow. Look at that. Look at that. Valkyria, thank you very much for that.
We have to play it.
Yeah,
I just can't find it. Aha!
Developers. Yes!
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 That.
I'm not sweaty enough.
Right?
Hey, I feel like Valkyria just created 50 normal men.
Yes!
Go.
50 normal men!
Let's go. That is absolutely spectacular. Thank you very much.
You just assume our audience is normal gender.
Yes.
That's right. I know for a fact our analytics say we have a bunch of normal men who watch the show.
Right.
We're just normal men.
95% of our audience is normal men.
Yeah.
It's great. All right, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment.
Again.
That's right. Everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News. Hard News. All right. This is quite the interesting crossover here. As Razor, have you seen Alien and Aliens?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Sigourney Weaver.
There's only one Alien film, unfortunately.
Yes, a singular alien. Then it's Aliens. Then it's Alien. Is it Aliens 3 or Alien 3? How do they?
Alien 3.
Okay. Alien. Yeah. Yes. Well, Sigourney Weaver was obviously super strong, independent woman in that. Everyone loved her.
And that's just her jaw.
By the way, Sigourney Weaver, hot or not?
Gray alien-ish? Is that a thing? I don't know. Freaking... I don't know. She looks like a Thaden.
That's a really good question because sometimes she looks beautiful. And I'm like, wow, she's a beautiful woman. And then other times I'm like, that's a man. So I don't know. She's like a Jamie Lee Curtis.
Sometimes she looks like Pauly Shore in a wig. Sometimes.
Right. It is a very, that's a good question. I think it is very dependent.
Woman.
Yeah. Well, either way, there's Sigourney Weaver, and looks like she is apparently in talks to make the big crossover into the Star Wars universe.
Oh, get on that sinking boat! Fantastic.
Yeah.
She can go from being misused in Defenders to abused in Star Wars. This is great. She like jumps on every franchise right as it's about to embed itself on the side of a mountain. You notice that?
Time to get out. That's right. jump right in. Do people like? It's been a long time, like since really Sigourney Weaver has been relevant. I would say, like
she does a lot of cameos and stuff, and she does some voice work too. And probably the best Alien thing in the last several years was Alien Isolation. She did the DLC for that. You get to play through basically the first movie, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, she was in Holes.
Okay.
Well, you are what you star in. And anyway, I don't know. What are they going to do with her in The Mandalorian, though? Is like Baby Yoda going to burst out of her chest? Or
Ew. But you know what she reminds me of? She reminds me of another actress in The Mandalorian. She like guest stars. I forget what her name was, but she was like a mechanic in Tatooine. She looks like a discount Sigourney Weaver, so that's funny.
Okay. Yeah. She was in Avatar too, as well.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, the 20 whatever it was, like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, so she's going to be in the new Star Wars film, potentially, reportedly in talks to star in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, which is Baby Yoda. So
that's just a shit title too. The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's so stupid.
That's all about merchandising right there. Because Baby Yoda was like he might as well have been Beanie Baby Yoda, right? Like he was a big merchandising juggernaut.
Their merch.
Right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I told you, my 9-year-old daughter loves Baby Yoda. Never seen Star Wars ever.
Yep.
Has probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 Baby Yoda somethings, and she has no idea what Yoda is. She just knows Baby Yoda.
That is so sad.
Well, that's the reality of it, right?
You need to have her sit down and watch the original 6 Star Wars. I'm just saying.
But not 7, 8, 9, huh?
The only 6 Star Wars. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. The only. Well, I'll tell you
what. Except for the Ewok Adventure. That was Caravan.
Dude, I've seen that one. That was funny.
It's fantastic. I love it.
Well, let's make our way over to the other side of the internet, where we have something happening in space to something that's happening actually in real life here, which may be shocking that this actually happened. But we have the classic matchup of skinny versus fat.
What?
In an MMA fight.
This was the video that Craig was like, let's remove it. And then you came back in, Razor, and you're like, no, we got to watch it. This is it.
Oh, from Baby Yoda to Jabba the Hutt.
And I really liked how Craig segued into space, and I was like, "Oh, it's a fat joke. I get it."
Oh man, whoever loses, the insulin companies win.
So Razor,
do those.
Based off of the matchup here, who do you got in an MMA fight between the toothpick versus the whale?
I don't know about this one. I gotta see a little bit of action here.
All right, let's check it out. Here it is in action. Right off the bat, during it, she gets up. Did that
not look completely rehearsed to you right there?
Possibly, yes. But here we are.
Took a dive.
Well, now it's time to fight. Now it's time to fight, and off they go. They're ready to go. They're in there. They got the fight ready.
Boy.
And
if the contest was who has the worst tattoos, I know who would win.
Well, you can see what's happening here. Do I have this at double speed? Okay, no, it's not the. Okay, they're moving in double speed.
Right?
So he's just chasing her down at this point. Like, doesn't even have her hands up. Doesn't even have her hands up.
Just stand still. Just wait. Jesus.
She is exerting a lot of energy walking. So there's that. She actually went for it. She goes for it here at the end.
Is that how it ends?
Oh.
What? Oh, nope. She's up.
She's ready to go. She realizes not a single strike has been made. Oh, she gets pushed.
Oh, come. All those histrionics. Like, that didn't even look like she pushed her over. It just looked like she got faint. Like, all that
too much walking must fall over.
Right? All those histrionics, and she was beaten by like a low blood sugar or whatever. Like, what?
Well, here we are. The one kick, and then she does push over. Now, watch. One thing I noticed is watch the fairly hefty lady like brace the ground as she's going down. She literally looks before she falls. Here we go. She gets pushed and she goes,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Come on. Like, I've seen more believable dives in the World Cup. Well, would she get knocked over by the air conditioning? Come on.
And then she gets choked out because she can't get her arm up. This girl just puts her forearm over her throat, and she gets choked out. She doesn't even try. I think the whale over here. I think that she just tired. I think she got tired.
Just like passed out on top of a toothpick, and then she would have won.
Come
She's
on,
on the ground.
Dude, she was paid off.
She should.
No, she got a payday.
Oh, her versus Boogie. Well, I want to see what happens. Oh, I'm tired.
Whoa, man! Yeah, the irony of all this is
Keem, I got an idea.
This is actually pretty funny. He actually comes up there giving her water, and then they give her soda.
Give her a soda.
Refill that sugar, lady.
Yeah.
She got the sugar foot.
Oh my God. Well, congratulations to her for her efforts. And it looks like you trained very hard and got in some great shape.
Oh yeah.
So, there you go.
In the speed bag. I don't get what the fat people get the legs that look like upside down teardrops, but then the tiny little hooves, the little like their ankles look like toothpicks. How are you supporting your weight on that?
I mean, clearly they can't, and clearly she didn't because she
evidently a strong gust from the AC blew her right over.
Right. Wow. All right, we have another video which Blabs says we have to watch.
Yes, it is amazing, but you have to watch it on 1x speed, just so you know.
Okay, that's what we were watching it in 1x speed the last time, but it was just the action was so good they had to speed it up in the post editing there. But let's check this video out. The only thing I see here is, Daddy, I want.
Yes, it's so funny. Just let it play. Make sure the volume's up.
Okay, volume is up. I've been promised gold here, Razor.
Daddy, what you want? I think you have the wrong person. I don't think so, Daddy. This is not your dad. I know you're my daddy. No, this is Ken from math class. I sit right in front of you. I know who you are, then why are you calling me Daddy? Come over, I'll show you. How could I be your dad? We're the same age. Do you need help finding him? It's really late. Are you in trouble? Maybe you should call the police. Oh my God, never mind. Yo, didn't really text you. Yeah, I think she's looking for her dad. She wants to hook up with you. She does. She's so hot. Didn't she just invite you over? No, she just keeps calling me Daddy. Do you think she wants you? It does. Yes, dude. Are you sure? Calling a boy Daddy is hot. Haven't you ever voiced me texting before? Not like this. This feels weird. That doesn't matter. I'm not her dad. Why would she want to hook with her dad? That's like super weird. So I'm thinking so hard. Why do you want to hook up with her? Yeah, and let her call you Daddy. Let her call you anything. It's crazy, man. I'd let her call me prepared if it's what she wants it to. Okay, you're right. Oh, Daddy was just teasing. Wanna come over? That is, what's your address? Daddy, she's Bobby. Why you calling me that? What you been mommy?
Sorry, but I thought it was hilarious. It's too funny.
What I don't get is the like Blind Guardian or like Queen soundtrack going on. Like, what was that?
I freaking loved it. It was like a whole journey.
I mean, in a weird way, it does. I mean, there was video games in the background, Blabs.
You're welcome.
Right, vaguely related.
And it was actually like in tune with like the acceleration of the story, where he's jumping over stuff and lava.
Okay.
I just died when it was like, why are you calling me mommy?
Maybe next time Blab says we need to look at something on the show, we don't.
Yeah. It's kind of like when
I'm still laughing. It's so funny. Look, chat thinks it's funny.
It's like when your older brother tells you to pull his finger or look at something, right? You know it's always going to be like a booger on a wall or something. Like it's, you know.
No, it's okay, I guess. It's all right.
Listen. Disper thought it was funny too.
You're You're on thin ice, officer.
That's all right. It's cool. Don't think it's like, hey, we have to watch it. You know. Maybe it's because I've never had anybody call me daddy.
Oh. And this man is procreated. This is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. All right. Well, there we go. Hey, in video game news, Blabs. Great news.
That was gaming news. That guy learned how to flirt. What a dub.
Hey, if somebody called you mommy, how would you react to that?
If I had a child, I mean, okay, but I don't, so.
Okay, well, then why is it okay for some girl to call a boy daddy?
Because it works.
Why? That's gross. That's gross.
Well, it depends on who you're calling daddy.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if somebody's like, hey, daddy, like, and it's like.
If they're calling you daddy, we got a huge problem also.
And then they called you mommy. Like, it's weird.
What if it's America's dad, Reginald Vell Johnson from Family Matters?
Well, he's gay. Super, super gay.
Even so.
Remember, we learned that. That's right. And you can't have gay dads. We've learned, you know, this is the truth. This is the truth. Anyways, thanks for sharing, Blabs.
You're welcome.
All right.
I thought it was hilarious, bro. I'm still giggling.
Sure are. Well, maybe one day we'll find you a daddy, Blabs.
Moving on.
And Blabs is like, nope. Hey, a new Assassin's Creed's coming out. Isn't that great? Assassin's Creed trailer drops tomorrow. And it obviously looks like it's some sort of ninja-based game based in Japan. Thoughts on that? Razor, are you into the Assassin's Creed games?
Isn't that the one with the black samurai guy? Main character?
I don't know. They've kind of hopped around. The Assassin's Creed initially was set in like the medieval times, and you could.
No, I think they already announced that it's going to be like this African American samurai guy. It's not.
Oh yeah, in Japan, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's loosely based on real history. Some guy was like not a samurai, but he worked for samurai. He was like the only black guy in history. So of course Ubisoft beelines toward that character, like the only black almost samurai ever in history. Apparently that's who the game's about, I think. Maybe.
Oh. I don't know. Well, they're going to announce it tomorrow, or have a trailer for it tomorrow, and we'll be able to see that character in all its action in Assassin's Creed. By the way, calling it Shadows, like,
yeah, right?
You know, like if you're going to be all like PC about this, just saying. Probably not.
Yeah. Assassin's. Yeah, it could be worse. It could be worse, honestly. I don't know. Depending on how black he is, maybe they'll come into their little paper house, and you know the TV will just be floating in the air.
All right. Well, let's talk about something with a little bit more color then here, as opposed to not being in the shadows, being out in the open, which is the Star Wars Pride Collection droid. Here we are.
Droids.
Because hey, this is what because did you know that droids have sexuality? And they
was C-3PO not a gay enough droid for you? Like what?
I want to point out that these are called astromechs, and the Empire also used them. So they're basically saying gay Nazis.
Right.
Again.
Wow.
So good job, Disney. You played yourself again.
I mean, really, just throw the color
that's
spectrum.
R2, right? That's R2D2.
Yeah, it's an astromech.
An astromech?
Yeah, that's the
I don't know. In retrospect, weren't the signs there all along? You know, he's kind of loud, high pitched, and dramatic. He's always palling around with another dude.
He's a woman.
He's suspiciously interested in an underage Anakin Skywalker. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, Natalie Portman, Padme, gotcha.
Maybe a few red flags is all I'm saying.
You are bringing up some very, very valid.
So the droid was a groomer.
Yes. Well, I'm sure those will sell out quickly.
Yeah.
They might even, just because they're so odd that everyone's like, I have to get one now.
It's like handicap Santa.
You know.
Oh, sorry, it was black handicap Santa, wasn't it?
Yes. So they actually have over on the Disney store. It's funny because you can buy them right now, and there is the ability to write the first review, which I'm sure that'll go over very well. Whenever that is made
He'll
available.
probably delete reviews if they're negative. Like, oh no, delete.
Well, it does have 1 star. It does have there's one star rating left. And
what does it say? Why?
why? Give me one reason why this is needed, and just in case, which I'm pretty sure of, this comment gets deleted, or I don't get an answer. That is also an answer. Keep your politics and agenda out of a galaxy far, far away, and stop destroying what is held dear.
Yeah. Poor thing.
Well, I'm sure that'll go over great.
Isn't the guy who played C-3PO like so gay he's setting the drapes on fire?
Yes, he's. I believe you're accurate.
Daniel, yeah.
Anthony Daniels is gay?
Yeah, it's a daffodil. What are you?
I'm a Google.
Hey, you know what also has gone over really well? Doctor Who, the new season which has been released.
Oh, yes.
He's married to a woman.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean anything.
He's a closeted gay, Craig, 2024.
The deeply closeted gay man.
We've seen Reginald Johnson.
Reginald Mel Johnson, yes.
That's right. This is quite interesting. Blabs wanted to talk about this one today. As apparently Doctor Who has not gone over very well, and as Disbrew pointed out, critics are already turning on Doctor Who after the positive reception of the first 2 episodes, the near perfect reception. It says Doctor Who episode 3 spoiler-free review. Stephen Moffat's explosive return is a bit of a dud. So here we are. The tide is already starting to turn to Doctor Who. And as pointed out,
it's just amazing they eat their own, especially the Telegraph.
Did you see that summary though?
It was pretty bad.
They're like mad that he's not flamboyant enough.
What?
It puts natural energy into a straitjacket.
You know what? Him and Melanie need to sing in African together. I'm just saying.
Well, it's a anyway.
Not that kind. The other African.
You were pointing out that they said.
Well, yeah. So the Telegraph was kind of like a very woke, left leaning, especially nowadays. And so they basically are eating their own now. They're saying, how Doctor Who went from paternalistic liberal to woke warrior. It's like, damn, they really do eat themselves. Like, you would think Doctor Who would be safe. They were doing all these changes and basically saying, white man, this isn't for you. Gays rule and everything. And then they're like, nope. So I'm kind of happy.
Never enough. It will never be enough, which is why you can't ever apologize for being a normal man. Hey, something that also was released today is the long-awaited Lord of the Rings of Power Season 2 trailer. Now, we can't show this. We can't show this because I'm sure we're going to get flagged for copyright.
Drat. We'll just have to muddle through never watching it or the series for our entire lives.
Well, the reception has gone not great. As Gary pointed out over on X, the trailer has currently, at his time, as a 13,000 thumbs up to 19,000 thumbs up.
Wow.
Well, that has since changed, Razor, and it is now at 26,000 thumbs up to 50,000 thumbs down. The ratio on it is vast.
And with how many bots are on YouTube, they are hiring those bot farms to thumb up like the Dickens, and it's still not stemming the tide. That's crazy. I'm more so kind of look at that view count for a show that they spent that much on, $1 billion or however much, right? For it to only have that many views is actually kind of disappointing because they got a huge machine behind them, a huge marketing machine. They got Amazon behind them. I mean, they should have a lot more than that.
Well, the best thing about it is the top comments. Is what impresses me most about this trailer. They haven't turned the comment section off.
Oh, grievous error.
It's we'll see how this goes. The trailer itself, Blabs, you saw the trailer.
I did. It was pretty pathetic.
When you say pathetic, what do you mean by that?
It just doesn't look intriguing to me. The acting looked terrible. The CGI looked like you could tell it was terrible CGI. I think one guy was holding like this blue ring and it looked like he was holding a ring pop. So like it was pretty shit.
You would probably
then,
improve the show if he was wearing a ring pop. I'm just saying.
Like, yeah, man, I got the power.
Get
And
the
then like
orcs
2
that have
hours,
push pops. Freaking go for
2
it.
hours later, I watched like the Game of Thrones trailer, and I've never seen it. And I'm like, this already looks 10 times better, and I have no idea what's going on. Also, but I was more interested in that, which tells you a lot. But it was crap. It was really bad. But I want to point out how shit their marketing team is too for Rings of Power, because when they were promoting season 1, they had hired like these influencers on social media who aren't even like Lord of the Rings fans. Like one of these chicks, she's like a Harry Potter chick. She impersonates Maggie Smith all the time, and she knows nothing about Lord of the Rings, but then was hired, and she's like, "Oh, I love Lord of the Rings," but she knows nothing about it. Like they're PR people. Stupid. Anyway, carry on.
They're what, Blabs?
Stupid.
Okay, thanks. I'm glad the Rosie what's it, Rosie Perez from what's that damn movie? White Men Can't Jump showed up. Rosie Perez. She's so stupid. Anyways,
She's so stupid. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
A reference that I didn't get. My God, this is a banner day.
Craig's a boomer today.
Craig, a big boomer energy.
Well, let's get to some more uneasy energy, and let's talk about some AI stuff here, Razor.
More uneasy than Blabs and the $40 under the Brooklyn Bridge.
What about the Brooklyn Bridge? Why do you got to add on to this? No.
I'm trying to give you a
She doesn't need a
hesitation.
bridge razor. She doesn't need a razor. She doesn't need a bridge razor. It's okay. It's $40.
Listen, I'm a high class motherfucker. So, fuck off.
All right. So this OpenAI announced a new model called GPT 4.0 or 40. I'm not quite sure. 4.0. And it does real-time. Now, it does a lot of things. And we're going to get into these things. And this is legitimately mind-blowing and legitimately terrifying at the same time. But one of the things that it does is it does real-time translations. So if you are, right now you have your Google Translate. If you're over in Italy and you want to talk to somebody in Italy, you have them speak in and it translates, right? It's pretty nuts. But how does this relate to? Let me actually show this to you really quick. Here is an example because I have a number of different examples pulled up, and here it is translating in real time. What we're looking at. This is nuts. Here we go.
Bot Gaskar wants to know if GPT 4.0 is capable of real-time translation. Mark, you want to try this one?
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I speak Italian, so...
That is such a fed question.
What's that?
That is a completely fed question, by the way.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
100%. That's just for our benefit. But anyway.
Here we go.
Italian. Sure,
Hey,
let's do it.
me and the home viewing audience would like to know if there's any reasonably priced offers for all of us. Like,
That's right. Hey, here we go.
Hey, ChatGPT, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going?
I'm doing great. So I would like you to function as a translator. I have a friend here who only speaks Italian, and I only speak English. And every time you hear English, I want you to translate it to Italian. And if you hear Italian, I want you to translate it back to English. Is that good?
Perfetto.
Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero?
Mike, she wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us?
Something about that
they might
MMA
ask-
fight, I think.
They would have given us odds right there.
When do I get my payday? Candy bar. Anyway.
Here we go.
How do we solve linear equations?
Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni lineari.
Sicuramente, sì.
Certainly, yes.
Okay, so the point is that you can go back and forth and do this. So how does this tie back into the video game industry? Well, guess what? Yeah. All those video game translators, all those localizers, they are now out of their jobs. As you can just pay for a Chat GPT subscription, at any sort of company, and here we are. You know, that's
it's
where
gonna
we're at.
be bad translation, but they don't care. They don't
No.
care. I mean, for crying out loud, video game translation's already really bad, and it's woke on top of that, right? So what do the video game companies have to lose for crying in the rain, right? They lose some uppity labor guy who's threatening to strike every other week. Like, what do they care? There are certain languages where it's hard to describe, but like the subject and the object and whatever in a sentence are swapped around. So necessarily real-time translation would be a pain in the butt even to like the most advanced AI, because it's a pain in the butt to a human, right? So there's certain languages that are going to translate badly. Unfortunately, Japanese is one of them. But again, I don't see the gaming companies giving the faintest fleeting fuck whether the translation is quality at all.
Yeah, I agree, and I think for the cost associated with it, instead of hiring out these entire firms, you know, they can spend $70 a month on ChatGPT or whatever it is, and just feed their lines in, easy breezy, Japanesey, if you will. But that's not all, Razor. That's not all, because there are 10 examples. I'm not going to show all these, but I do want to show some of them. Now, I was watching these and I was like, you know, there's those gifs of that guy going like, fuck. Like that was me this morning watching this stuff. Here is doing like this ChatGPT being a math tutor, and watch kind of the real-time interaction that this has. This is nuts.
Tell me you can do this with Scott Steiner's voice, by the way, please.
Oh my God. Buddy's voice. You know,
yes.
sometimes you can customize the voice. That would only make it better. Oh,
I would want
God.
like Alan Rickman.
Everyone, Alan Rickman should voice everything, though.
This is just that'd be spectacular if you can customize the voice. But here we go. Let's check this out.
Myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology, and so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy. So.
And I'm curious when his overly blinking son is going to shoot up a school.
Oh no! Oh no!
Look at that dead gaze in those eyes. I'm just saying.
Well, hopefully not in the next 3 minutes of this video.
Yeah. You know, I always get the school shooter insult, but every time I see a school shooter, it looks like this dildo. But anyway, keep going.
Well, let's see if this guy can do math.
Right.
It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
So you share your screen.
In this format.
Hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse relative to angle alpha?
All right, so I'm pretty sure this is the angle alpha right here, right?
Perfect. That's correct. Now, looking at the triangle, which side do you think is the hypotenuse?
Remember
the hypotenuse?
I'm not totally sure. I think it might be this one, but I really am not sure. This side AC.
You're close. Actually, side AC is called the adjacent side to the angle alpha.
So you get the idea of what's happening here. The idea that you're interacting with this PC, this computer, this AI, and it has this like Scarlett Johansson super welcoming, like, here we are, everything is wonderful.
Right.
And you know, it's really bizarre. Like I want you, AI, to tutor my son.
Yeah.
What a weird statement to say. I just, oh my God, I don't know. Just your general thoughts on this.
I mean, we knew this kind of thing was inevitable, but I say it kind of casts it in a different light if you think instead of him talking to the AI about who he's really talking to, which is the mega corporation that's collecting his voice pattern and collecting all of his private information, right? Google, excuse me, I'd like you to tutor my son. Bill Gates, I'd like you to tutor my son. I'd like you to collect my data and sell it to Chinese organ thieves, please. Like that's really who you're talking to at the end of the day. Look, a lot of this is kind of flim-flammery. AI is advanced, but some of it is still kind of smoke and mirrors. You have to understand these are prefabbed presentations, but still it is very, very SKYNET and very, very spooky. Keep in mind, though, let's dialing back on the hyperbole a little bit. And believe me, I am fluent in hyperbole. It's my native language. We heard a lot of these same SKYNET claims when the Kinect was unveiled. All right.
Right.
So, time moves at a rapid pace. Yeah, there's still a little bit of smoke and mirrors going on here. I mean, watch that original Kinect presentation. How much bubbling BS was in that thing, looking back.
We should go back and look at that. That'd be fun
We
to see.
really should. It would be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe we can do that next week. Blabs, put that, maybe in 2 weeks when Kirsch is not with us. Go back and watch the Microsoft Kinect original presentation, Blabs.
Okay.
All right. So but here, this one is kind of, this is probably the saddest and lowest point in maybe human history here that I'm going to show you this next 51 seconds. I'll tie it into AI, and I just want to let the video play here and let you descend into sadness with me.
This is Bowen, and this is my friend Jordan. Can you guess what we are doing here?
Hey, Bowen and Jordan. Let me guess. With that cake and candle there, it looks like someone's having a birthday. Are you celebrating a special day or just finding an excuse to eat cake? Either way, I'm intrigued.
That's correct. Today is my friend Jordan's birthday.
Yeah, you got it. I was hoping that you could sing me the birthday song.
And there it is, the saddest point in history.
Where it looks like you're heralding his imminent demise.
Where a human asks AI to sing it happy birthday. There it is, right there. Let's hear it.
Of course. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jordan. Happy birthday to Jordan. Blah, 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 blah. Don't forget.
Oh, God. They so programmed it with a sense of hipster whimsy, too? What? What?
That's right.
Why?
It's pointed out in the chat and has been pointed out many, many times. Watch the movie Her and then come back and tell me. There's going to be
Lucy.
There's going to be so many dudes out there that have this parasocial relationship with ChatGPT, OpenAI. Because you're right. She's fun. She's personable. It's fun. It's personable. She likes me for who I am.
Right. It's like the dude who gets scammed by a stripper. She really liked me, dude.
You know what this is going to do? This is going to take the OnlyFans out of business.
Oh, absolutely, bro. Once the pornographers get a hold of this, that's it, right?
I feel like we should.
All the kick thoughts that I watch and stuff,
oh, yeah.
gone.
DSP will never stream again.
Oh, no. Oh, well.
And here's the thing about it. There's going to be people, oh, wow, next level stuff here. You're going to be able to take these and have one-on-one interactions with with AI people that look real life. So people won't know. There will be a point where people won't know whether they're looking at a real person or a fake person, unless there's some sort of disclaimer in front of it. I mean, it's messy, man. This is messy, and this is like we talk about SKYNET, man. This is next level shit. And as you said, Razor, all you're doing is just handing over. Well, you open up that camera and you say, "Hey, look what I'm doing today." And they say, "Oh, yeah. I see it's your birthday today," or "I see that there's a cake."
Yeah. Have I told you about my darkest abiding fears lately? Like what?
Right. Hey, I just want to let you know that the 2020 election was stolen. Woo! Like all of a sudden, just people just show up, or whatever. Hey, I just want to let you know that.
Have I mentioned to you that 9/11 was an inside job? Like what?
Right. Or, hey, I want to let you know all those claims about the COVID vaccine weren't exactly accurate. I'm sorry, the thought police show up, whatever. This is God. And the government is associated with all this stuff, right? Oh my God. This is, wow. It's just amazing. Just amazing. So there we are with that. And I think before sharing anything else with that, I want to move on before I go into depression anymore. Part of me is very intrigued by that. And another part of me is extremely terrified of it. And I think that's natural. Maybe. I don't know. All right.
I'm interested in a morbid sense in okay, getting some AI voice acting lines. God, most video game voice actors are utterly cringe on social media anyway. I will dance around the maypole when they're out of business, right? But I'm interested to see if it's integrated, if AI actually gets advanced enough to the point where it doesn't sound like utter garbage, because that Skyrim AI voice acting sounded terrible. But being able to do that for NPCs, right? I mean, you're already using NPCs for the voice acting. They're just actual oxygen respirating human beings. So I'm kind of interested in that, but dude, you can wave goodbye to any semblance of privacy at all, rather, when you put one of these in your house. Of course, a lot of people kind of already have done that with smart TVs and security systems in their houses and apartments and whatever. All this stuff is spying on you.
Of course. No, absolutely. We know that. We know that's been a common theme over and over again. Let's move on to something IRL that is happening. But before I do, I want to point out, holy shit, Big Blue Minamuku came in, says, in recognition of how many people, of how much of an abomination Prime's piece of shit show is, I think Blabs should, in just a huff of helium, in her best, I just huffed a helium balloon voice, sing The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins by Leonard Nimoy.
Classic.
I think this you can pull this off very well with your voice that you do, your little high pitched voice.
My normal self, you mean?
You mean being a biological female? Really?
No, you have the what's the voice of the little Disney character?
Blabs.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You'll find that, Blabs.
I don't think I've ever heard this Bilbo Baggins by freaking Leonard Nimoy.
We'll get to that in a little bit, for sure. All right. Thank you very much, Big Blue Minimuku. We're going to get you on the wall here in just a second. Got you right here. All right. Before we get on to Blabs singing, I thought this was a really interesting post here. This post over on X. This is from Thomas Mahler. And Thomas Mahler is the CEO and creative director of Moon Game Studios. Now, what is Moon Game Studios? What are some of these games that they've done? Well, as pointed out by Mark the Cyborg, they've done the Ori games. They're doing a game called No Rest for the Wicked right now. So the Ori games you may recognize as this little guy here. Pretty popular games. So they've done well, and they are independent. So let's go back to this post here from Thomas Mahler, the CEO of this company. Says, I already know I might get myself into trouble once again by posting this, but I just replied to Maurice Weber, a German journalist who is affiliated with the German outlet GameStar. Now, Maurice Weber, here he is right here. He's posting here. He says, I do think it's especially important these days that we always remind ourselves to try to keep an open mind and try to understand even those who think differently than we do. Here's my response to him complaining about people who are apparently fed up with woke culture. Okay, so this is a longer post, but we're going to read through it because it makes a lot of sense. And then we're going to talk about the reaction to this. So this journalist reached out to him, said, because this is the thing now. People are noticing that people are pissed about all this, and now they're writing about, shows like us, G&G, Nerdrotic, whatever, that are done with all this nonsense. And he says, I think it all makes sense, Maurice. This is basically a backlash against cancel culture and similar phenomenon because everyone has had enough of that nonsense. I'd suggest that you take a more nuanced view, especially since you're positioned yourself as a journalist. Yet you often display a narrow-minded attitude and don't seem to question what's actually going on. And that is something we should expect from a journalist. Just because you personally haven't been affected by cancel culture doesn't mean there hasn't been a lot of foolishness happening, and it's still ongoing. It's only a matter of time before it impacts you too. Consider the famous statement. First, they came for the socialist, and I didn't speak about it because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trade unionist, and I did not speak about it because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Jews, but I didn't speak about it because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Instead of allowing artists to just be artists, Hollywood and most of game developers on the West Coast have decided that it's appropriate to use films and video games as platforms to push their own political agenda. If you argue otherwise, I would expect a journalist like you to back it up with thorough research. Moreover, it's become the norm to point fingers at others, particularly at those who may think differently than us, rather than allowing others to be different and listening to them regardless. We attack them outright. It's frankly eerie, reminiscent of old Nazi tactics. Anyone who doesn't conform is ridiculed, and it's suggested they may be shamed, fired, and have their careers destroyed. This has been the approach over the past few years, and I know plenty of people whose careers have been devastated by trivialities and misinformation, and they continue to suffer today. You seem unaffected, and thus you refuse to consider a more open perspective. Your lack of empathy in this matter is not only unhelpful, but also shows a considerate amount of ignorance. Allow me to play critic for a moment. At GameStar, you do the same thing. Instead of cleaning your own house, you wield the, quote, we report and earn from our articles, but be aware those guys are the real villains narrative. Just to ensure the spotlight never falls on you, aligning yourself just so. That's precisely why we've cut you off. We find such morally dubious practices unacceptable and refuse to support them. You lack the initiative to conduct your own journalistic investigations, as it seems too much work.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this is a personal feud, it sounds like, that has gone on, and they've gotten to the point where they're no longer going to... Didn't something like that happen with, like, Bethesda or something, like banned Kotaku, or like they weren't going to speak with Kotaku anymore or something several years ago? There was some studio that wasn't going to talk to Kotaku at some point. That's what this sounds like. Because at the outset, my first question was, wait a minute. He felt he had to get out in front of a German language game journalist article. Like,
right.
English readers don't even read English video game publications, let alone German ones. I don't think this was going to get traction. But now it seems like he's trying to clarify because his company apparently has boycotted them. Right.
Well, they just said, we're not going to deal with this nonsense. And here it is. I think this is, what he's doing is he's taking the shit that this journalist is spewing and putting it right back in his face and saying, here you go, smell it, smell the shit, and making him smell it. So he continues here because he's going in pretty hard. He says, you lack the initiative to conduct your own journalistic investigations, as it seems too much work when the next clickbait article is due the next day. The sad thing is that young journalists like yourself never knew anything else. The more outrage you generate, the more clicks you get, and that's how you make a living, at the expense of others, which apparently doesn't matter as long as you're seen as the good guys. I hope in the future you will approach the world in a more with more skepticism and openness, and truly consider both sides instead of aligning yourself with one to amplify their propaganda. Now, the most fascinating thing about this is, that's what he said, and he, continued here with just a little bit just saying it's deeply important after everything that happened over the past couple of years that we always question hidden agendas, always try to be loving and show understanding, even to those we vehemently disagree with. Proper discourse is more important than ever, and journalists need to understand their responsibilities in this and start acting like journalists again. Now, what's amazing about this is that people are going crazy in German in response to him. And he's getting flamed, and he's seen as extremely hateful for saying those things. And that's the most fascinating thing about this. He's just a dude. He was extremely calm and rational, and now he's getting attacked because he was calm, rational, and explained exactly what the guy asked for. And these attacks are on him personally. and not on anything he said in his response.
Yeah.
And the only way you can respond to that is because clearly it's a cult. Like they're in a cult.
Yes, and this is a consistent tactic. There was a great I'm trying to think of what the show was. It was from the 1950s that would, talk about various social issues or whatever. It was just an old black and white show. And on one of them, they read from a pamphlet, actually, that was given out to members of the Communist Party USA. And it said something like, if someone has become too irritating, after sufficient buildups, accuse them of being associated with something that already has a bad smell. So call them fascist, call them this, call them that. Because what will happen is they will have to ultimately defend themselves. And it doesn't matter if they defend themselves and have proof, it will necessarily marginalize and distract them. Right? So this is kind of a tactic that happens. This is one of the reasons that you constantly see these kind of ad hominem attacks in response to something that's relatively reasoned. It's why it's honestly best in most cases to simply reply, mock, ignore. Reply, mock, ignore. Because the more you engage and the more you assume that they're engaging in good faith, the more they're going to exploit your intent to engage in good faith. And we've seen this, God, dozens and dozens and dozens of times. It's the most rational, calm people who get absolutely excoriated in public because they try to reason with people who are not really about this issue. The old phraseology is, it's never the issue. The issue is always the revolution, in this case, the cultural revolution, the politics, the constantly being politically engaged in that extreme mode. Once you understand that, man, it's liberating because you can just let this run off your back like so much rainwater. Well,
it continues here as naturally this guy is being attacked, and we're going to go over to Grummz here for pointing this out. And I wanted to watch a little bit of this because this is a really great example of, this is just fascinating stuff. So this is from Grummz. He says, in case you're wondering why Phil Weber, the narrative director of CD Projekt Red, and that's Witcher and Cyberpunk, is attacking Thomas Mahler for speaking out, CD Projekt Red has become woke and is pandering to ESG investors. See their own video. So here is the video, and I want to watch just a couple minutes of this. And there's about 2.5 minutes in. I want to hear what he has to say, and then I want to make it a simple observation. So let's go ahead and take a look here.
My name is Piotr Nilubowicz. I'm a member of the board and CFO at CD Projekt. I'm also personally involved in a range of environmental, social, and governance initiatives, ESG for short, and I'm responsible for CD Projekt Group's reporting in this matter. I would like to present our strategic approach to ESG issues in the context of our business. This approach reflects our identity and our values. It also takes into consideration the interests of our stakeholders identified in a relevance survey, which we carried out for the first time in 2021. The survey produced a list of ESG.
By the way, keep in mind what was happening in 2021, right? Right after all this stuff, like they're asking what their quote unquote stakeholders are.
Well, their first and most important stakeholder, you know who they are, right? The Polish government.
There you go. Right.
They took millions and millions and millions of dollars in order to develop Cyberpunk, and before that, The Witcher, and what they're essentially a company subsidized by the Polish government. That's, I mean, that was a recipe for disaster right from the beginning.
Right. Well, let's go and continue here because about 30. So we're going to fast forward about 30 seconds because there's a very strong observation I want to point out real quick.
Not shy away from confronting socially important topics in the stories we tell. Our games depict social inequalities, the various paths people take through life, and the problems they face. We want to make sure that the characters populating the worlds we create represent a diverse set of mindsets, social groups, and backgrounds. In The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, we tackled the issue of domestic violence, strained family relationships, and discrimination. Cyberpunk 2077, on the other hand, addresses alienation and dehumanization of society. Our products reach millions of people around the world, so we want to focus on what's important and encourage gamers to reflect upon the choices that surround them.
Why? Like that last statement, like just listen to this last statement real quick. This is
we had forewarning of this approach in 2020. I mean, some of this they were making statements and videos similar to this, not quite as upfront, but similar to this ahead of this game's release. So, you know, if you gave these guys money after the fact, like who are you blaming? Are you blaming them? You better not pipe up now because you didn't say anything then. I did. I talked about it in my review and I got shit for it. I often do. But, you know, you got no one to blame but yourself if you gave these guys your cash.
100%. 100%. But let's go to continue. Let's see how diverse they truly are.
Encourage gamers to reflect upon the choices that surround them. The second important aspect relates to our team.
Okay. As we look at their team, just be observant.
We strive to ensure that we are a company people love working with. We give our team members the opportunity to engage in ambitious projects and pursue unique career development paths.
This is hilarious if you know about the controversy with CD Projekt's work environment. That's what a lot of this is right here. Do you remember that?
Go ahead. Tell me.
This was ahead of Cyberpunk. It came out around 16, 17. There were a bunch of employees. Nobody had heard of this website called Glassdoor. It was just getting more and more popular. And it was a website where employees from companies can review the company that they work for. And somebody on a lark looked up CD Projekt Red. And it was like 1 star all around. Just, we get overworked. The people were... The big story was that it basically gave away that Cyberpunk 2077 was going to be a turd. Because they were talking about the development problems that game was having. That they had to pull off a bunch of the developers to go work on The Witcher 3, that they never had an appropriate direction. One reviewer on that website claimed that the game had to be rebuilt 3 times. Like they started out with one version, then they went off to work on The Witcher 3, then they came back, made another version. That was a turd, so they had to rebuild it again, right? So that's what this reads like to me. This is damage control from a company that sounds absolutely terrible to work for.
Well, if you also noticed with how diverse they are.
Yeah. In Poland.
There's not a single black person in this video. Go
like Edgar Winter in a snowstorm over there.
Like, I'm serious. Let's go back and look at this. We're going to watch this without audio, and let's count the number of people that are not white in their super diverse haven they have here. Here we go. Let's just do a quick freeze frame. Do we notice any outside of the bubbles, anybody in these streams that are not white?
Yep.
We're so
what is
diverse.
Interesting is they are, in terms of nationality, very diverse, and there's a good reason for that. Native Polish game developers have already worked for CD Projekt, and a lot of them have moved on because it's a terrible work environment. So they have to hire outside of Poland, but they're primarily hiring from where, right? Like Western countries, England, France, Germany, some Americans, right? Mostly Caucasians. That's what this is about. But most of these people probably not Polish.
Well, as you continue to, I get that it's not the United States. I get it, right? I totally understand that. But so get off your fucking high horse. That's all I'm saying. Like, don't tell me how diverse you should be when you are the least. Like, fucking hire people from other parts of the world that reflect that diversity. You fucking hypocrites. Like, that's the thing that drives me the most crazy about it. Is
no. They'll just put cringy gay characters in their games that people pretend are good. That's how they deal with that. The diversity is virtual. just like their ethics.
There you go. Exactly. All right, there you go. I can't deal with these fucking clowns. Anyways, good on that game dev for just wrecking that guy and laying down cold hard facts. And of course he's going to get blowback from people. But once again, it's always the pot calling the kettle black in a situation like this. It is what it is. So, let's go to another quick hit here. before we get to some support. This was just a real quick one here. Google is being sued by Rumble. Once again, we're live over on Rumble right now, and we'd like to thank everybody for popping in and saying hi. If you guys are watching over on Rumble, make sure you guys hit the follow button, as we love to continue to grow. Why do we love Rumble, Blabs? Because
it grows organically.
That's right. But yeah, Rumble is suing Google again here, which is a reoccurring theme here. The big picture here is, well, I'll just say Rumble is. It's funny because Rumble is painted as this YouTube alternative that's favored by conservatives, right? And when you talk to people at Rumble, like I would say like half the people there, I would say, are right, but they're very diverse. They have people who work on the left, and the big selling point is just free speech. That's it. Right. That's it. That's the old. So free speech is seen as conservative value now. So
right.
There we are.
That's flex.
Yes. The big picture says the lawsuit argues that Google owes Rumble upwards towards $1 billion in damages for lost data revenue as a client and for illegally leveraging its dominance in ad technology to hamper Rumble's ability to compete as an ad tech competitor. This is the second lawsuit filed by video company against Google. Rumble's first sued in 2021 for illegally favoring YouTube videos in Google search results, which, totally makes sense from a Google perspective, but I can see why.
Google is like the worst search engine you can use, dude. It's absolutely the worst. They'll bury what you're absolutely looking for. If it's something that's, God, just the other day I ran into this. I had to download a video off of YouTube, and I forgot to change my search engine on my browser, and it was Google by default. And I look on Google for how to download a YouTube video, and I'm like, I'm not finding any of the links that I normally see. Where's and I kept getting like websites that didn't really lead there and websites about YouTube downloaders and I'm like, and it took me a second to realize, wait a minute, Google owns YouTube. What am I doing? And I go over to Bing and boom, first link. It's immediately what I'm looking for. Google does that all the time, bro. It's terrible. Eric Schmidt, the old CEO, I used to play this clip on my show, said, we don't censor people. We don't censor search results. We let them exist, but they have to be out of the way. They have to be in their own little, they can exist, but they're just out of sight. That's all, where they can't hurt anybody. Like, he essentially said that in so many words.
Well, what's interesting about the first lawsuit, and hopefully this happens in all lawsuits, is that it's been sent to discovery, which I think is probably the best thing you could potentially do. And for those who don't know, discovery is when pretty much the book's open and you can see all the internal discussion that happened, all the data associated with whatever it is that they're talking about. So that lawsuit is currently going in discovery, and they just, Google obviously had a motion to dismiss the case, and the judge was like, nah. So we'll see what happens here. I think it's good for Rumble for going after Google. I mean, they're fighting against the mega Goliath at this point, and it's crazy to think that one publicly traded company is the David and the other one is the Goliath. But that's kind of where we're at with this. Is you have mega corporations.
It sounds like the main thing is just them basically not playing straight with advertisers. Essentially, doing the same thing Ozzy did with Black Sabbath in the 80s, right? Hell yeah, you can have an Ozzy Osbourne show, but, you can only have it if you don't let Black Sabbath play in that arena. He was doing that all throughout the 80s like a douchebag. That kind of sounds like what they're doing with the advertisers.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, that's Sharon Osbourne. Wonderful woman.
Real class act, that Sharon.
Yes.
Classy. All right, one little fun discussion that we could have. This is moving on to our final thing here. I've been playing Donkey Kong Country recently, and this guy over on X posted a nice little recap of kind of what's going on in the video game industry, specifically AAA gaming. And I've said many times, if I had $100 million to make games, I would make $25 million games as opposed to one $100 million game, right? With small teams. And this guy York over on X says, I just counted the core team who worked on the first Donkey Kong Country. They were 21 talented individuals with a passion for games who created one of the best platformers in history. Why do we have this then? No wonder AAA industry is imploding, because Diablo 4 had 9,000 people. I don't even know how 9,000 employees are involved in this. Like, how did they just move everybody on the company ledger? But like, how do you have 9,000 people in the credits for Diablo 4?
It doesn't surprise me, man. I remember reviewing, was it Assassin's Creed Black Flag, I want to say. Assassin's Creed 4. I had reviewed it. I had just beaten the game. It's not that long of a game for an Assassin's Creed game. And the credits start rolling. And it's Ubisoft Montreal, as you would expect. And they go through the long litany. And then they're Ubisoft Shanghai, Ubisoft Beijing, Ubisoft Taiwan, Ubisoft like South America, Ubisoft Kunta Kinte, Mountains of Zaire. They're every conceivable location on the globe. I literally got up, made myself some food, came back. The credits were still rolling. Okay. There thousands of people worked on that game. That's how they get the Assassin's Creed games out so fast, because at that time it was annual. Right. So this is not this is the rule, not the exception with Diablo 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, that it really goes back to I've worked with very small teams to develop indie games. Back in the day, we published a few games, funded a few games back at Screw Attack, and to be clear, that's something that I very much would love to do with side scrollers. I would love to start working with, I mentioned previously, I would love to work with small teams. I'm talking like 1 or 2 people who have clear visions, really interesting visions, who are ready to build and have fun, who just need some funding, right? And I would love to help with that. Because I think that's when you have 9,000 people like that's a city of people. It's insane.
And it's too many cooks in the kitchen too. You don't get a focused vision at all. It winds up being completely bland. It's why WWE has been so unwatchable for 20 years. They went from having one writer with one assistant to a room full of writers who all have to agree before they can move on to the next storyline. So they just don't have storylines. They have like one storyline at a time and everybody else just gets ignored, right? Same idea with game development. You get too many people. There's no central focused vision. Think back to all the games that you like, and there was usually someone at the helm who had a really focused vision and a relatively small kind of core team working behind that. It's one of the things. Bethesda get a lot of crap, but Bethesda have put a cap on the size of their studio at 200. And that's the core Skyrim, Starfield, whatever team. They'll bring in some outside contractors and whatever, but the core team at Bethesda is 200. They're to be, I laud them for that, if not for anything else.
Yeah, I mean, that actually seems pretty smart, if I'm being honest. That's good stuff. Well, shit. It's an interesting conversation, and I think it's only gonna, I don't know, be the spotlight's only going to be put on it further as these game studios are shut down and people are fired, and the bloat continues to be removed over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. Because I've said it many times, I really think we're in the middle of a crash, and you talked about that many times, Razor, yourself. So, all right, let's go to get to some support today, Blabs. You wanna fire away with some of these here?
Yeah, so I'll get to locals first. So Mythophilus, I want to say, sent a $1 tip saying Blabs.
What was that? What was? Is that just a noise you made? Was that even a name?
Mythophilus. Phyllis?
Yeah.
All right. Mythophilus. It's a noiseless mosquito. Okay, it's already established. Thank you.
Use your words, Blabs.
Blabs' parents never forgot her because they'd had been out $40. Thank you. And then he comes back for another $1 tip and says, cringy gay characters is either a bad name or a Jeopardy category in some universe. I want like a I guess the word based Jeopardy. That'd be fun.
Right? Yeah.
I think lots of people would watch that. Another big words. Epsilon Sama for $2 says, is that $40 in call or out call?
What have we done?
I feel like we need to have some sort of like $40
HR meeting.
like a $40 donation. You know, like for something for I don't know, maybe have some sort of Blabs notification or something.
Anyway, Skull Leader says Huggy Bear says you can't afford Grummz thing. Okay, cool. Moving on. Not a band account. Look how cute that avatar is. How much for Razorfist to step on us at con?
All right.
How much you charging, bro?
All right, but it's extra if I have to wear cleats.
Dylan says Razor had to pull a Taryn Gale for a while.
I don't know.
Is he hiding in the bushes? I'm not sure. Lance says Razorfist left in the town of the hills have eyes.
It's true. It kind of was, dude.
Icy Cheesecake for 40 sent a super sticker. I don't know what THB is, but thank you for that.
All right, nice.
It was 40. I don't think that was an accident.
Dayan, Blabs actually silenced Razor. Holy crap. That happens every once in a while. Antihero, and moments after my first super chat, I learned about hentai, Blabs. I need to cuddle my dog. Listen, I don't actually know hentai. I just know that one word that means like it's too big or ouch or basically big thing. Anyway, you're supposed to be innocent, Blabs. Don't do this to me. I am.
I'm sorry, Blabs. And what was that word?
What?
What's the word that you
Pringles
said earlier?
can. Pringles can.
You want me to say the word in Japanese?
No, I want you to say whatever you feel is comfortable.
Pringles Kano.
Namaste. Huh? Got him. Mike has bad knees for $5. PlayStation owners are now being lynched for whistling at white women.
It's the dumbest thing ever.
Shock sock. Hey Blabs, how's it feel knowing your hero Jake Heroin liked your tweet on X? Well, listen, actually, we go by Joanne because we're friends now. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I didn't even bring that up on the show. I'm just saying that's how cool I've been playing.
We exchanged AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah, we're bros now. Peter for Canadian $5 says the Sony fanboy doesn't use his PlayStation. It's hard to use a system with no games. It's probably like a bookend at this point.
Right.
Icy Cheesecake says you should bring Ross Scott on. He has a site called Stop Killing Games. The information is on his site and YouTube. This could help you both with game preservation and consumer right. All right, hang on. I'm gonna go
checking it out now.
that. Boom. Okay,
Checking it out now.
Emperor Creatine, Razor, there is a full, very well done English translation for Fire Emblem 4 that Blabs showed earlier. Perhaps something for Razor Fist Arcade.
That would be cool. I like me some Fire Emblem.
Mage says, Craig, ever played the Crimson Sky games? Add them to your backlog. Imagine Errol Flynn as an old-time fighter pilot.
Yeah, I think I have, not extensively, but I know for a fact that I've played, that's back on the PlayStation 1 or 2 way back in the day. But yes, I'm familiar with them.
You know Lemmy from Motorhead?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they did a documentary about him several years ago. Before he died, obviously. That would have been more.
Yes.
And it opens up with him sitting down on his couch with an Xbox, an original Xbox, playing Crimson Skies. Just in his private time.
That's awesome.
Lemmy, low-key, was one of the biggest, most famous actual gamers there is. He went to arcades all the time, played video poker, had every console, played like hardcore games. He was the real deal.
Okay, yeah, it was Microsoft. Yeah, I said PlayStation, it was Microsoft. But yes, I do recall it. Yes. Good times.
Backwards compatible on the Series X too.
Zach says, Blabs, please play Bloodstained for me. Maybe. Tolls, number for 5 months. Thanks for all the fun. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in every day.
Valkyria, member for 1 month. Just woke up, so I'll watch you later. Mass Effect was one of the best games back in the day and still is. SKAL and coffee time. Will you have fun?
Skull.
What is Skal?
Valkyria, thank you very much once again for your 50 gifted memberships. It's awesome.
60 watt. There's only one return, and it ain't the Jedi.
Thanks, 60 watt.
Jake says, I would bet the MMA promotion is Russia. They do crazy fights like that all the time. All right.
That's where slap fighting came from, was Russia. And now there's the power
looks
competition.
The Wandering Helmsman. Whoever wins in a fight between Boogie and the whale, the ring floor loses. Animate says, "Hi, Helmsman. Hello." 60 Watt. They already made an Afro Samurai game, and it looked cool.
Right?
Thank you very much. Zim. They're only making a Black Samurai is only to appease Black fragility.
Do you think that they would make, like, what if they were to remake Afro Samurai today? Right?
Oh man,
like
never fly.
Right. People would be so upset. So
It's like,
silly.
but dude, they still melt down over Boondocks, right? Like they could not handle Afro Samurai. No.
Extra Zero says, "Finally an astromech droid that dispenses mayo." Thank you. Animate says, "Craig is unaware of the fembot revolution that is on its way. At the moment, women are no longer needed to reproduce." Okay.
All right.
Marksman says, "Razor, they didn't know about the one Black Samurai when they made the game. They made up a character. They had to go back and rewrite it for the real one."
Is that true? Is that true? God, I hope that's true. If it's not true, it's reality's loss.
Hey, real quick, here's some Afro. I'm sorry. Here's some Afro Samurai. Look at how cool this looks. Like it has a very cool art style to it, you know, and
almost like a No More Heroes kind of look.
I kind of like that goes back and forth between like noir and color. That's cool.
Yeah, I dig it. It looks
anyways.
Okay. Animate says, "Razor trying to get T Boogie and Blabs to meet. Or they're one and the same. You decide, dear chatter." Wait, who's T Boogie?
Terrangel.
Why is he T Boogie?
I don't know. Either way, his boobs are bigger, so no, there's no comparison.
I'm not interested.
I was like,
I'm not interested in dudes with boobs. Raven the Red says, "If whales could talk, they would say, 'You guys are screwed. So long and thanks for the fish.'"
Thanks, Raven.
Andrew says, "The dialogue in Mega Man X5 and 6 sound like they were translated by AI."
Oh my god, yes. Actually, AI would be an improvement.
Matthew says, "Is the guy that is being tutored Clock Boy?"
He kind of had an Elliot Rodger thing going on.
Optimus Jedi says, "So Blabs doesn't know anything about Blumpkin." "I do. Or a Cleveland steamer, but on the bright side, she'll call you daddy." Listen, I only call one man daddy. And unfortunately, I do know what a Blumpkin is, and I don't want to talk about it. I learned on Urban Dictionary like many years ago, and I was not happy.
We're gonna need to limit these like Blabs learns to like once a week. And like, you know, because everyone's coming in and be like, "What does Blabs know?" They like, we got to limit this like to once a week.
You gotta ruin me.
Yeah, otherwise,
It's gonna be a slow decline.
Right. She's only got so much bandwidth for depredation.
That's right.
But Base Player says, "All I see is a society that is too lazy to use your search engine of choice."
There's a lot of truth in that.
Rod says, "Demolition Man and Terminator have showed us how life will be, and then this AI comes. Truly is scary." Thank you, Rod.
Thanks, Rod. Appreciate that.
Peter,
the
AI. Well, he's like on a delay, and I just anyway. Peter says,
your voice is doing like a Max Headroom thing. What?
I don't know what's going on here, but I have an idea.
Yeah, Craig's doing like the Max Headroom thing.
That's right. You stay down there. All right. Peter says the AI would explode if it had to translate to a language like Hungarian. Right. But I will say, it's me. Look, I opened my mouth and words came out, but it wasn't from me. Anyway, I will say the AI. Yeah, you are Fred. The AI was pretty good in Italian, but like it was like a very generic Italian accent. I'm just saying. Goji the King says the birthday song is copyrighted. The AI should be sued. Ooh, true. Interesting. The Master. Look up Peter Molyneux's Milo for Connect. Yes. I have it for in 2 Tuesdays from now to look up Xbox Connect presentation. Captain YOLO. It reminds me of the episode in TBBT where Raj developed, The Big Bang Theory, developed a relationship with Siri on his new iPhone relatively early on in the show's run. I don't remember that episode. Thank you, Captain YOLO. Marksman says, replica girlfriend AI is already more advanced. Ugh. I'm assuming girlfriend is GF in this, but thank you. 60 watt. Even the AI was cringing. Trooper says, Father Craig, Mommy Blabs, and Brethren Razorfist. Classy broads. Thank you.
Thanks, Trooper.
Shield Wall of Dragons, member for 6 months. I want my AI to sound like a Cylon and say, by your command at the start of every interaction. Also, nice shirt, Blabs. Yes, I have lemons. Anyway, thank you.
Kind of a John Goodman shirt going on a little bit.
Okay, listen. I remember last year when I wore this shirt last year, someone was like, oh my God, do you work in a nursing home? And I was like, when lemonades are part of like the old woman's, like, I don't know, attire, whatever, man. I like my lemons.
You do you, Blabs.
Right. What kind of shirt you wear after you retire to Boca Raton and change your name to Morty or something?
Hey, man, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Anyway,
my grandson works for the Parks Department.
Hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Solwyn, the real danger of AI is governments declaring it's dangerous or requiring a permit for large models. Then only corpo AI and underground AI will thrive. Thank you very much, Solwyn. Magna Defender. Whatever gaming YouTuber fellows current thing, I instantly unsub. A large percent of them are pro-trans, pro-homos, and still wear face napkins into 2024. These YouTubers are so detached from normal society. Yes, correct.
That's the most fascinating thing about it is people still wearing masks in 2024. Now, like we have very much seen this this transition of like where masks are now like they're used for exactly what masks were originally used for, to cover your face, right? Not to shield from some disease from coming in, but to actually cover your face. So you see these people who are protesting with masks on, you know, and it's like, well, you got to be thinking these people are scared of COVID outside. No, they're trying to cover their face because they are scared of what they're saying. Yes, Black.
You heard that, right?
What are you have like welfare internet? What is going on?
Is this bad? Is it bad for me?
It's stuttering. You sound like RFK Jr.
Like I told you like this last week, where like either we hear
I think
it's your mixer. You got some weird settings going on. Like sometimes we'll hear echoes of people talking. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, listen. I'm just gonna put you there. It's fine. 60 watts. 60 Watt says, I need to stop super chatting so I can buy no rest for the wicked. Thank you, 60 Watt. Aldred became a YouTube member. Thank you very much. Here we go. Next one. Rebound. Think that is an excerpt from More Deadly Than War by G. Edward Griffin. It's on YouTube. Everyone needs to watch it. Thank you, Rebound. Miku Hantu says, why do you need to be my therapist? Just make games. That is such a great point.
Preach.
Lance says, why do you think Poland is so safe, Craig? I am Icarus. Shut up and make games.
Unless you're a light bulb.
That's all. CD Projekt Dork. So sick of this. These companies deserve the video game crash we're seeing the start of. Thank you. I am Icarus. Movie times today, member for 6 months. Craig, I am from Eastern Europe, Bulgaria, and I have maybe seen 2 black people in my life IRL.
Well, you know, I'll say this. I think that in that situation, right, once again, you're talking about a company that is so diverse, right? Bring them in. Hire people from other countries. Bring them in. Make yourself diverse. If you truly believe in it, make the effort.
Oh, you know, it's just like the New York Times, right? Who could virtue signal any harder than the New York Times? But you look at their editorial board, right? It's like a Klan rally.
Anyway, Israel for 5 says, tired of companies making gaming platform for addressing
the lag laughter. Like I'm thinking I'm getting sandbagged over here. All right, whatever.
It's like he's like the live action audience, and they're like forced to laugh at jokes. Like, oh, like that's just Craig on delay.
I'm gonna restart my computer. I'm coming back. Hold on.
Craig, this happens every day. It's not like a one-time deal. This is every day.
I haven't restarted my computer in like a week. Again, I need to do that.
Turn it off every single night, bro.
I'll be back. Hold on.
I'll be back. Bye. Anyway, Israel says, tired of gaming companies making a gaming platform for addressing social and world issues. Gaming needs to be about gaming and having fun smashing things. Correct. We like pyrotechnics. Sal, the meh guy. Silent Hill 2 has a development team of 50. Nice. Miku, you married So This and FE3 houses, right, Razor?
Nope.
Anyway. Matthew, have you guys seen the video of the streamer Taylor Morgan playing Valiant and she quit the game because some guy was trash talking to her? I remember hearing worse on Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. Oh, so it's a whole story about this. So she used to talk a lot of shit. But she actually said before this whole story happened, was like, I'm not going to mute him for content. So she literally unmuted this guy. And then he was like, how do you feel about getting gripped? Do you want to experience that? And then she was like, oh my God. And then she raged. She quit like in the most boomer thing ever and then ended the stream. But like, this is Taylor Morgan. I kind of ended her career like a year ago. Even Melanie Mac made a video about her. Like, take the L, girl. Anyway, moving on. Hidden gem gamers. I feel like we need more narrative-driven games that are 10 to 12 hours long. I'm looking forward to the Max Payne remix. For me, it's quality over quantity. Thank you, Hidden Game or Hidden Gem gamers. Matthew, like the stuff I heard on those lobbies would make modern people want to off themselves in Minecraft, especially when the women say back then.
Dude, I used a clip that I had recorded from a Modern Warfare 2 lobby in 2009 in a video. And it got tagged for hate speech 5 years later.
Yeah.
because of the audio. I got kicked off of game trailers for it. It was great.
Wow, Lizin, hello, you wonderful, sexy gamers. And Craig, have any of your opinions on this old 6-axis spaceship shooters series Descent and its spaceflight Watsim Free Space? A series TIE Fighter fan would love. I don't know. I have no idea what you're asking me.
Descent is great, and I love Free Space.
There you go.
Yep.
Thank you. Nightsayer, remember for 1 month. Gamers need to stop feeding Doomsday Mode when crying nothing new to play. There's 30 years plus of all genres of games to play. No one has played everything. Can you imagine if there's someone out there who's actually played every single game in the world? I mean, a Guinness record.
Yeah, not only that, but if you're like the average Steam user, like Jesus, my backlog on Steam was like a Dead Sea Scroll, and it's like 90% of them I haven't played yet.
I just keep going back to like Jurassic World and I have all these new games to try. I'm like, but T-Rex.
No, it's the same thing. I got thousands of games. It's like, all right, Hunt Showdown again. Like, what?
Zadaika, I think. I really hate it when people try and tell me Fallout 76 or Cyberpunk because they fix the game with patches. They fix them with patches. Why would I reward people who released a busted game in the first place? I agree.
In Cyberpunk's case, it's just cope because all the stuff that is broken about Cyberpunk 2077 is broken that way on purpose, so it's never going to be fixed. It's just bad design.
White Monkey 510. Why is Blab so much better at reading than Tarangale? Because I don't know.
High school diploma?
Yeah, college grad. Mage Leader for 5. Don't worry about us Doctor Who fans. We haven't watched the show in years anyway. Exactly. I gave the female one, Jodie Whittaker, like a few episodes. I was like, all right, I will try. But it was just shit right off the bat. I was like, forget it. No more. I was already losing it at Capalities anyway. Extra Zero. Shout out to R. Craig Jr. and his brainworm. Thank you, Extra Zero. Hidden Gem Gamers. When life gives you lemons, go look for oranges. I mean, okay. I like oranges. 60 watt. This isn't a gaming crash. It's a correction. True.
What was the original gaming crash? A correction?
Yeah, 1983.
Yeah, every crash is a correction.
Right. So that's all caught up on YouTube. I'm going to hit the Rumble side since Craig usually does this, but Craig died. And I can't read it because the stupid pin chat won't let me read. Damn it, I'm going to have to unpin it. Okay. So I don't know if Craig read these or not because I normally don't pay attention to what Craig says. Anyway, Bentley Guy for $10 says, hey, Blabs, Craig called me bastard. Okay, we read that one. We read the... Jared says, Blabs versus Metal Gear Solid. What 1998 Razor. What game would you like to see Blabs play? Normal Man. Yay, Razor. What game should I play?
What games?
Yeah.
No. What was the game? Metal Gear Solid or what?
Or no, he was just saying 1998 Razor.
Yeah.
Did you?
1998 game. Have you ever played Resident Evil 2?
I've never played a single Resident Evil game.
I think that's 1998, right? Or was it 97? I can't remember. I think it was 98.
It was either 1 or 2 years old then. All right. Mighty Megatron for 2-1 Rumble says, well, with this translation app, at least now we can use this to find out how shitty and woke Japanese translations are in anime now. True enough. Bentley Guy says, if you really despise someone, give them an AI chat that only has the voice of Fran Drescher. Mr. Sheffield! I freaking love that show.
Dylan Mulvaney's voice. There we go.
Oh my
god. Oh no. Ugh.
Of course, then you're criminally liable for the mass suicides.
Yeah. Bronsonite for $1 says the reason AI is nightmarish is because these retards are the ones programming to be that cringy, holy shit. Killer was fired, just the fake personality, and likely this is a lot of bullshit, but still so bad. Thank you very much. Scroll. Holy moly, Rumble. You guys are on fire over here with your chats. I'm like, XQC. Okay. Zarin for 10. CD Projekt was a very good publisher doing great localizations that provided added value when most of the people pirated their games in Poland in the 90s. Then they became red. Thank you very much. And then 24 for $1 says, as an African American, I'm saddened to hear your reluctance to relax around blacks. We aren't all bad, and I think it's now time for you to give me your wallet.
All she's got is $40, guys.
That's right. She only has $40.
My mama only gave me $5. Mr. E says the only thing worse than listening to this lag is listening to one of Review Tech's new beats.
Am I better now? Am I back?
You're better now.
What is clogged heartbeat? What?
Miku Huntus. Why not so this? She's 1,000 plus years older, Razor.
Who? Is that the god? The goddess chick?
Why aren't you falling in love with some 1,000-year-old woman, Razor? Why?
No, I'm ageist. I apologize. I'm just not Ashton Kutcher enough for this stream.
Anti-hero came in, says, I'm a huge firearms enthusiast and in a shotgun phase at the moment. So please tell me, oh, wise ones, what games get the best scatter guns and why? What games have the best shotguns? I mean, Halo has a great shotgun.
No, I mean it's the freaking double barrel shotgun from Doom, obviously. Obviously,
just rips people apart.
Yeah, nothing comes close.
John says people call me daddy and no one bats an eye, but when I say mommy, give me milkies, I'm the bad guy. Thanks, John. Cloud's Chick-fil-A problem says, hey, game daddy Craig, can I have some Chick-fil-A? See, it is weird to hear that, isn't it? Blabs is not a mommy. She's just a gamer chick. Hail side scrollers. Thanks.
Is it bad if I want your mic to cut out again?
Oh, no. Put me in the corner.
Possible, please.
Carito has too many bitches. Came in with a 5. Says the best thing to come out of Rings of Power is, quote, the Young and the Elfish trailer. That sounds funny. Professor Savage Dad says, coming up soon to my show Dadcast, I'll be interviewing AI Craig about his journey through fatherhood. This could make scheduling so much easier. Thanks, Professor Savage Dad. And Jacob Foxfires came in and says, speaking about dev team size, Game Freak, who made the Pokemon games, has a team over 150, but due to yearly releases, they're making 3 games at one time. They're probably working on Gen 11 as we speak. Just to highlight, there's some nuance here. This is true. This is true, but 9,000? Just saying. A little excessive. So, all right. Thank you guys once again.
I need to share this.
Yes.
This is awful. This is the new Romeo and Juliet play in the United Kingdom. What is her job? Look at this.
Is she gonna kick his ass? Like, what are they gonna? I thought they're supposed to love each other.
Oh my gosh, she looks like she's gonna eat him for breakfast.
She looks like she's about to beat his ass. Yes.
I feel so bad, but this reminds me of the British impersonations of people on Family Guy with the big jaw.
These Jake Paul boxing matches are getting worse and worse.
All right, Blabs, you got a song to sing.
I do, but I also have some memes too. Lots of them.
All right, let's get to those first.
Grab them.
Get to some songs.
Okay, here we go. So the first thing is, these are not the normal men you are looking for. You're just normal men. We're just normal men.
Right.
Raise a fist after being away for 24 hours.
Yes. They unthawed me and my
what
big
just happened?
Sylvester Stallone butt crack was hanging out.
Blabs defensive maneuver before the dirty suggestions roll in. Yeah. And then, I'm gonna crush it, you damn nuisance.
No, sad.
No! $40, please. Me and Joanne just having a good time. Bros now.
Besties.
Yeah, I think we're all cut up. Thank you for the memes, guys. And
All
yes,
right.
I do have to sing a song. I listened to a little bit of it. It's gonna go pretty badly though.
I'm sure it's going to be great. Gears of War, Nashor Shotgun was pretty nice. Thanks, Orthodox monks. Hey, by the way, we Blabs and I decided that this month will be the final month that we're going to offer songs on the show. The karaoke bar will be closing, so make sure you guys once again pick up your
After you sell shirts of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, that's the idea. It's the closing.
Oh
It's-
my God.
Last call at the bar.
Lab said she says it's not very good. She's not doing a very good job of it. And I want to make sure whatever we do great. So
Mhm. Also,
Okay.
it starts to like fade out. You want to keep it fresh and fun.
that's right. Maybe we'll bring back the karaoke bar here in a few months. It'll be good. But
It was fresh at some point.
at no point was it fresh. Big Blue Mini Muku came in and asked for Blabs to sing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins by Leonard Nimoy. I did not know this existed.
Neither
But-
did I.
You didn't?
No, I didn't.
Wow. Okay, so I have the song playing. So let me.
Uh-oh. Hold on. Stop, Blabs. Stop.
With his long wooden pipe, as he really knows, he lives in a habit hole. Everybody knows him. Bilbo Baggins.
I'm done now.
I'm sorry.
Alvin!
Quality effort.
Yeah, seriously, the chipmunks.
I love
All right,
Leonard
excellent.
Nimoy.
Nasty opposites.
Oh no. Throwing tomatoes. That's rough. That's
Yeah,
rough.
well, you're welcome. You get what you get.
Oh no, they're throwing cucumbers at you. That's rough.
And pickles.
Oh no. Oh, pickles. I'm sorry. Rough. Oh, there we go. Hey, all right, guys, that's going to do it today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Next Tuesday, we got a great show with Razor. As once again, Kirsha will be joining, and despite all the black and white on Razor's screen, it'll be flipped with that much more color on Kirsha's screen, which will be wonderful. So it'll be
And
direct-
jiggle physics.
and jiggle physics. That's right. The jizzle, they are real. The jizzle physics are real. when it
Razor
comes-
Fist is very terrified right now. He's like, what have you done? I will be calling in sick next week. I have broken my leg.
No, I'm telling you, this is going to be this is going to be really, really fun.
I feel a compound fracture coming on.
All right, let's get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. Razor, how is everything going with your book?
It's fantastic. It's now available to order on Amazon and at Barnes and Noble. You can literally walk into a bookstore and get this thing. So
wow,
the monochrome hardcover, and then paperbacks are going to be available probably later this week. And then on the 17th, we launch the color version. It'll take a little while for that to be available on Amazon, but yeah. So all of that is available right now. It goes to the Badlands. If you want to watch a Hellfire and Brimstone Bible verse espousing preacher blow people's heads off, definitely go check that out.
All right. Once again, you can find it over on Amazon. We'll make sure the links are down below. Goes to the Badlands. Go pick it up right now. That's awesome. You can pick it up in the physical store. That's great. Love that. Cool. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Go subscribe to Blabs over on YouTube. You can find links to all of us down below in the description. Appreciate everybody popping in. And remember, people are going to... Oh, you know what? No, Razor, you take us out today, buddy. We didn't do that last week. You take us out, my big man. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, normal men of all ages, for Blabs and Craig, I am Razor Fist. Godspeed!